Peace, peace, peace. Oh, we up in this bitch. We up in this bitch. We up in this bitch. One more day. Man, I got two things to talk about, and I got to make this rather quick because we will be at Laurel Park Mall from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Man, oh man, I'm reporting live from the astral, fam. So, when we look at comic books, I got two things to talk about. This is the first thing. And I don't got a lot of time, so excuse me for being brief or rash or whatever adjective you got for me this morning. Maybe I'm a little dusty, but you subscribed and follow my channel, so dust is a part of the deal. So listen, man. When you be reading comic books and they talk about the Marvel Cinematic Universe and they talk about the Matrix, bro, what's up, Doc? What's up, Keon? They are talking about our astral bodies. And part of our astral bodies is a level of possession. So it's like night and day, day and night. This gonna sound crazy, but I'm trying to explain some real life spiritual shit that's happening in real time. So if it don't make no sense, I apologize. It will make sense as I get more downloads. So, but this is what it is though. It's just the downloads that help me explain it. So when you go to sleep, or you meditate, or you go out of your body, or you astral travel, or you even particularly daydream, right? Night dream, daydream, still a dream, right? What you are doing is tapping into your astral body. Now, when you tap into your astral body, you possess other people. When you possess other people, you see their life. You're walking in their shoes. And in that moment, you can make certain decisions. Like, I'm going to give you an example. And it's all in relation to how powerful your soul is. So say, for instance, this is what I've been dreaming about. A lot of hip hop artists and a lot of things that they have to do to kind of stay on top. And then there's some artists that stay low key out the way. They get their money, you know what I'm saying? Take care of their family. They ain't for the smoke. Peace. What they do is possess people in their astral body, in their meditation, in their sleep, in their out-of-body experience. They possess people to listen to their music. And how they possess you is through magic. Visual and audio magic. Mantras and repetition layered. So what you see on the front, you see my ashy knuckles, but behind you hear my voice kind of talking. So imagine my ashy knuckles to be a big booty girl, right? Or Idris Elba with an 8-pack, right? And then if you're attracted to my ashy knuckles, which you're not, but let's use your imagination. Say, for instance, you're attracted to a perfect image in replacing my ashy knuckles. However, everything that I'm saying is not into reference of my ashy knuckles. It's in reference to you paying attention to the fact that I got you so magically hooked to focusing in on my ashy knuckles without you even realizing it. So this is what I see a lot of artists, a lot of musicians, a lot of entertainers, a lot of politicians. Like, I'm seeing it happen on the spirit realm or something. I don't know what the fuck to call it. But it's a lot of possession taking place, right? And we can talk about other people because that's the easiest shit to talk about. But I'm here to talk about you, and specifically, can you say without a shadow of a doubt that you're not possessed? Because when you enter into this conscious stuff, there are hierarchies. There are energies. Peace. There are energies that are have a little bit of information. Like they might have a key to the front door. Then it might be people who have a key to the vault. Then it have people who have like the architecture that they know the whole layout of the building. And this is how spiritual energies and hierarchies be. So as a human, the problem with the conscious community is that they told you to tap into spirits for personal gain and not tap in your soul for the architecture of the universe. So when you tapping into Oshun, when you tapping into Ishu, when you tapping into Zeus, when you tapping into all of these spiritual concepts, tread very lightly to the point that you shouldn't even really tread at all. Why? Because the most important deity, the most important mythology, the most important superpower on the planet, in the universe, is, guess what? Your soul. But if you tapped into all of these personal energies, it's because you are dealing with a certain level of trauma in the world that you feel as though the spirit can help you relieve or resolve, such as being broke, right? And then somebody say, and it's real clear, right? You can go into these spiritual Facebook pages and YouTube groups and Discord groups and Telegram groups, and you have a spiritual group, and somebody will come in like, yo, what deity, what God can I deal with money, for money? Now, a rich nigga ain't gonna come into the chat like, all right, what deity should I work with money? Because he already got money, and he might have got money from like knowledge or some shit, like, or proper investments or something. And he really trying to tap into his soul and his spiritual purpose because he got the money, but the money ain't satisfying enough. But a broke dude, their mindset is saying, this is all for my dream. I hear y'all saying, oh, if I have this, everything would be better. I hear everybody that I fucking know, bro. That shit is the most craziest shit in the world, bro. If I have this, I could feel better. And it's such a false idea. It's such a false concept. And if you bring then thus the spiritual concept into your false concepts, now you're very, very confused. And everybody is confused, miseducated, and misguided. Because we're not trying to put it all together or even come together at a particular place. And the dream world was so profound and so major that it was so crazy. This book is in the car now. This book is in the whip. Pascal Beverly Randolph. And I knew for a fact, like I just knew that I was going to crack open this book, right? And it was going to be exactly what I needed to explain spiritual possession in the space of it being a problem and not a solution. It's a problem if you're doing a spell and a ritual for a particular purpose. Oh, I need a house. Oh, I need a boyfriend. Oh, I need a this. So let me pull on energy to get this. Bro, if you get it, if you get a house, if you get a boyfriend, if you get money, guess what? Guess what, guys? Guess what's going to happen? That spirit that you pulled on, that source that you pulled on, he gonna want something in return, or she gonna want something in return. And you know what? It's gonna be more gruesome and more grotesque than you ready to really go through. Peace. You're not going to be ready for the turn, because obviously you was at a low point already to be pulling on some spirits for some damn money when your ass could have filled out an application at goddamn Papa John's or some shit, if it was that serious. So we talking about real shit. But we got to get into it. it's super important to not pull on deities and mythologies and sentences that you read in a book and pull on your living soul. Why? Because you are a spiritual being having a human experience. And I realize that the conversation is getting real light from y'all. I realize that people ain't trying to hit up no more and really trying to have the real conversations no more. I ain't your friend no more, because the reality is, you can't tell me that you're not possessed, and you don't know that you're possessed. It is a complete subjugation of your fucking soul, right? A deity comes in and says, I'll give you this bullshit. Give me what I fucking want. What I want is your fucking soul. Okay? Put me on a pedestal. Do whatever you got. Here go this funky ass debt notes and funky ass metal coins and shit that you willing to die over. Here you go. Now give me that fucking soul, right? So the conscious information is like, hood, you real deep. I understand you, bro. I get it. But I ain't gonna be able to do that shit. I ain't gonna be able to do that. No, you talking about, all of this. It sound good, but no, man, you say a spiritual being having a human experience. I can't really say all of that, because, this human experience has completely suppressed my spiritual beingness. And I don't even know how. I can't express to you that I'm possessed. Why? Because I'm fully in possession. And when you're fully in possession, you're fully in suppression. And I need y'all to understand, if you got ears, hear. And when it comes on pulling, and when it comes on desires, and when it comes on needs, let those things go and really tap into the sublime, mystical nature of your fucking heartbeat. Because the shit that you tripping on, the shit that you tweaking on, the shit that you stressing about, the people that you stressing about, is not going to have your fucking heart beating. So in the reference of soul work, it is a goddess that rests within the middle of your heart. The symptoms of spiritual possession are about to be talked about right now. So we are referencing Pascal Beverly Randolph. That's the title of the book, Pascal Beverly Randolph. We on page 114. We're going to read 114, 115, and 116. And the symptoms are a later effect of the cause. The cause is spiritual people who don't know shit, acting like they know shit. And then you taking in that energy, going through the particular process and functions, and realizing that this shit don't sit right with you. But it's going to take a while to get there, because in your desperation of needing money or needing a house or needing a relationship, you willing to do anything. And that's desperation. And there's nothing that can really solve it but somebody stepping in and saying, look, you need to tap into your soul. So the symptoms and the cause also rely on us communicating in a particular way of helping people to get this. So this is why I'm sharing this with you, so you can share this with your brethren, share this with your sister, right? That's the real purpose of this shit, sharing information. So I'm a bend around because it's gonna sound confusing if I read it. So listen, I'm trying to explain it and I'm going to read it, but I'm going to just read it straight, and hopefully you can pick up what he's saying as I'm reading it. All centers, spheres, potencies, hierarchies, and brotherhoods, in fact, all things on earth externalized, have their orbits and periods. In like manner, all conceivable powers, qualities, and energies in the space have the same. There are times when they are and are not contactable, and it is very difficult, if not impossible, for any person that is living in domestic turmoil to contact them at all. So when you are living in domestic turmoil, you cannot contact spiritual beings seriously, right? The exercise of a resolute, unbending will and perfect indifference to the surrounding harmony, but there are orders of beings invisible to the material eyes who were of earth once, and others who have never been ultimated on. So listen to this. Or nor incarnated in this external plane of objective life, who understand anything and everything which man can conceive, and who possess every species of knowledge, and who respond to the desire and the invocation of those who follow the same lines of thought and feeling, who belong to the same state of intelligence, or who voluntarily place themselves under the same essential conditions of rapport and contact. So that's a lot of words, and it's kind of mumbo jumbled, but the reality of what he's saying is that in all conceivable thoughts that you can have, there is a spirit who can answer that question. But there are also hierarchies and references to questions. If you're thinking about money, you might ask for money. If you're thinking about business, you might ask to think about how to create a business. If you're thinking about community building, you might ask for the blueprints of how to build a community. So generally, the person who is thinking of how to take over the world is going to tap into a different hierarchical spiritual system, but it is all fragmented. That's why you can have politicians with power, but then you can have sovereign energies who are completely tapped in and dialed into their soul, and they can live on the same world. And you can have people who looking up to the person who tapped into the hierarchical energy of world creation, like a Braxis or something like that, in relation to an energy like your grandma or something, or your uncle or something like that, right? You would pull on your uncle for something like rent money, but you would deal with a Braxis if you're trying to take over the whole entire world. So there's literally brotherhoods and sisterhoods and secret societies. The spiritual part of a secret society, I'm gonna tell y'all this. There are deities, real life spiritual entities that these people work with, but they are still fragmented, because the most potent energy on the universe is your living and personal soul. Nothing compares. So when you are attempting to live in an earthly world and you tap into earthly deities or even energies who haven't even lived on earth, and you're seeking earthly things, you may get it. But are you thinking about what you have to give up? So let's deal with this. I'm moving forward. There is one point of spiritualism almost entirely overlooked by most of the believers and everybody else. They seem to be practically ignorant. See, now he making it plain. Now he killing you. He done with the mumbo jumbo. They seem to be practically ignorant of either the facts or possibilities of mixed identities. That a well-attested medium, and that's just a spiritualist, tarot reader, psychic, all of these particular energies, if they are not specifically telling you, hey, I don't pull on no deity, I don't pull on no energy, and some of y'all even will say it, I'm a goddess of Oshun, I'm a goddess of Obatala, I'm a goddess of this, that, and the third. Okay, sounds very cute. Interesting. That a well-attested medium, one with whom spiritual rapport is easy. So, once again, all of your psychics, all of your powerful beings, all of your powerful entities and readers and things like that, they will propagate a particular message in a particular frequency as if it is easy to be a psychic, meaning that they can contact spirituals easy. Or a lot of people will even tell you, hey guys, I'm a medium and I'm on Instagram. Oh, word? You talk to spirits? Okay. You talk to who? Ancestors and gods and stuff. You special. Okay. Let's keep reading. Because anybody can argue. You can request to go live and all of that. I'm here for it. I got plenty of smoke. But I'm ending this video in 10 minutes. Now listen to this. That a well-attested medium, one with whom spiritual rapport is easy, can readily have his or her individuality, personal consciousness, absolute identity, the real proprium, entirely, completely, thoroughly subjugated, subverted, suppressed to the extent of being so far as the mental, moral, and conscious personality is concerned, non-existent. Not merely for the brief duration of an ordinary seance or trance, but for a period of time limited only by the will of the invisible possessor. Meaning that whoever you tapped into, they'll let you go when they fucking feel like it. So now you're going to people trying to get something happening with me. And I hear people in the same breath say that they working with a spirit. And then at the same token say, yeah, I'm just getting out the hospital, y'all. I'm just going through this and I'm just going through that. And, you know, we all can go through it. It's our time down here is finite. But the reality of the fountain of youth, the reality of the soul, the reality of subverting all of that fragmented energy is to deal with your living and vibrating, pulsating soul, and it is relative to your heart beating. That's powerful within itself. That's a miracle within itself. But if you worried about this nigga over here and that bitch over there and excuse my language over here, you know what I mean? You would not understand what I'm talking about. Nor is this condition one of trance at all. For the party is to all appearance wide awake. So they clearly wide awake and they literally have a living soul, but they talking about Oshun. But listen, my soul has a name. It's OSC. My soul has a first name. Hey. And it ain't nothing that nobody in Nigeria thought of or created that y'all could just step on and trample on and do faulty readings in the name of. You dig me? You will never know my soul's name. Listen, I got to read this sentence again. And please tag your favorite goddess or priestess of, and maybe they need to learn this and let that shit go and tap into their soul. Ashe?
Ashe.
Ashe. Nor is this condition one of trance at all. For the party is to all appearance wide awake, performs all the ordinary functions and duties of life, yet the consciousness within is not theirs, nor the guiding intelligence, but wholly, totally another's, and that's in bold, that's in capital. Oh my God. Oh my God. This condition may last for days, weeks, months together, during which time the earthly party resumes themselves only at brief intervals, like short and vague snatches of wakeful consciousness in the midst of a deep sleep. The merging of identities is the oriental. We're going to stop there. We're going to stop there. You better tap into your soul. Because a lot of people will come to you and they be your friends and they'll be your homeboys. And they'll back slap you and back turn you. And you know what? In the spiritual realm, when you tapped into your superhero mode and you saving people and you helping people and things like that, you helping people in real life who making bad decisions, right? But your consciousness is such evolved. Your soul is such evolved that it'll help people. It'll elevate people. But if you so conditioned to this human life, then you might, you damn near, you possess like shit. You possess. You possess. If you ain't saying I'm building up a deep relationship with my soul, and it's levels, it's hierarchies, it's steps. You build a relationship with your ancestors. Your ancestors initiate you into your guides. Your guides initiate you into your archangels.
Wait, who initiates?
Huh?
So who initiates?
Your ancestors.
Oh, so you don't have to go to a Babylao or a priestess, or I'm just saying because I've seen a lot of people talking about they being initiated over the weekend. God. And I'm trying to figure out who's initiating and who initiate the initiate.
Man, them people voted for Biden and got the COVID vaccine. So, you know, it's always a thought, right? It's a lot of people who think in a certain type of way, and you being completely woke, you be like, damn, I would never do no shit like that. They fucking a rando on a Saturday in 2021 off Tinder, right? You like, damn, what's possessing that motherfucker to do that? Them initiations, bro. Them initiations is nasty. And it's subtle too. It's in the initiations can come from the music that you listen to.
Mm-hmm. Like everyone that I know that has been quote unquote initiated through IFA, however you want to say it, their life is not.
They catch hell. What you talking about? They catch hell. Anybody in those spiritual systems, they might have a little bit of money or whatever the fuck. Might have a good ass job or nice ass house. But you know, if you know, the motherfuckers is catching hell.
Like, I don't know, when not one person can say.
Yeah, you don't, yeah. And so, it's a solution though. The psychology of your actual living and breathing soul, your heartbeat, the compassion that you have for your family, the compassion that you have for friends, the modalities of you tapping into your creative space and your artistry and your healing and your kundalini and your chakras. They shut down the whole industry of life, right? And said, all right, you choose what the fuck you about to do now. Right? And we all have the opportunity to choose our space. And if you're not choosing your space and you're possessed to be thinking a whole type of way, as opposed to like this prosperity and all of this, like it's beyond what you could imagine right now. But if you can't see that, if you can't see the abundant, amazing love, like it's just so much fucking. Everybody that fucking come in contact with is just like, bitch, come here and give me a fucking hug, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to a nigga like, you know what I'm saying? It's just love out here. You know what I'm saying? And if you cannot see that, you are possessed. You are possessed. Another thing, if you think your goals are gonna happen a year from now, a week from now, you can't start working on your shit right now, you're possessed. You're possessed, right? If you feel like you have to wait.
Wait for what? That's my thing. Like, what are you waiting for?
Because somebody told them that shit. And it might be a spiritual energy. You're possessed. We can start right fucking now on some real powerful, high grade love shit. And I know I be talking crazy and off the wall. The reason that I talk like that, because not too long ago, it's just crazy. I can't even explain. But a lot of this conversation came from energies that I'm experiencing transition in real time. Like I'm seeing people get killed and things like that. And not only... And when I say I experience people get killed, it's like it's no cameras in the astral. It's only body possession. So sometimes in the astral, since you're experiencing it, you think that is you. But the deeper thing is that you're possessing that energy. And when you experience certain things such as death and like that, it's a deeper conversation that happens. And if you kind of can stick with it and understand like, okay, I'm dreaming and this is not me, then you get into a different realm. And the realm that I'm at is the realm of knowing consciousness and wakefulness about how this shit is, right? How this shit is possession. Like, This shit is possession. So you either are the possessor or you are possessed. And when you reference possessor, we're talking about healing energy that we all have, that we all possess, and we could be called to be superheroes in the astral, whether we know it or not. So it's very important to be clear on a lot of things that's happening so you can begin to document it. When you are worried about like trying to manifest a house or manifest a certain way of life, then you're not ever going to be able to ride the train. And a lot of want and destiny is based upon you not being on the train and moving. Because if you were on the train or moving, you would actually be in the possession of the journey. But if you're like off track, off road, you're just sitting there fantasizing about when I get back on track, it's gonna be like this. But the reality of a train is that it needs a track to move forward. So with that being said, you know, tap into your direction and tap into your higher self. This is the most important thing out here because it's a lot of mysteries. It's a lot of unfragmented energies. It's a lot of truth. It's a lot of downloads or whatever you call it, outside of your needs and wants. So your needs and wants is going to block that real spiritual communication. And if your needs and wants are very, very strong, like you are a getter of needs and wants, then you possessed by those needs or wants. And you need to kind of wake the fuck up. Wake up.